Hello.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm all right.
So, what was I going to say? Oh, yes.
Yep.
So you're on tour.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. Is that just you, or have you got...
Just me, solo. That's the way it is these days. I don't know if you got my dates, but just today I've been confirmed that the Zots in Newcastle has been cancelled. So I've only got 2 more shows. It's tonight in the Heritage in Bulli and tomorrow night at the Great Club in Marrickville.
Oh, good. It's great.
I've already done 3 up from the coast, from Birmingham.
Right.
Which were very well attended.
Yeah. Well, you've got quite a pedigree here. Going back to the Wurumpi band and all of your solo stuff. I mean, you've written some kind of classics, My Island Home and stuff like that. So it's not surprising that people are turning up. And also, you're quite a dynamic live performer after all of these years.
Well, I don't know. I just deliver my songs and hope for the best, really. But I deliver the ones I feel I can do well, at least solo. So.
And what are your kind of favourite songs in your repertoire?
I really find, favourites. I end up making long lists. I don't really have favourites.
I suppose it also changes day to day, right?
Yeah, well, I'm doing a few, three or four from the current album. You tend to be more interested in stuff you've done recent work,
Yeah.
That seems more vital to you. But then you dip back into your back catalogue and then you try and put things in that people would know and perhaps are waiting for to hear.
But I mean, I guess your work goes back a long time, and it kind of started in the sort of centre of the country, and I always kind of associate your work with that sort of looking for that sort of Australian soul, really.
Well, yeah, that's where we live,
Right.
This is our life and times, so I try to articulate that, hopefully, in an eloquent way, and hopefully that adds some depth. Because I'm not from America. I'm not from Europe. So there's something in this land that has intrinsically shaped me, and I think other people feel that too, and they tend to gravitate to what I'm singing about. So,
but you've never kind of moved. You've kind of found it sort of a deeper connection. Do you think?
Well, I hope so. That's been, I feel that. I feel it. Trying to perhaps deepen our identity in a way that isn't hackneyed or jingoistic, but is, plums depths of meaning that maybe haven't been articulated before, maybe haven't been expressed in that way. So looking for new ways to belong, to be meaningful in the land and the times we find ourselves in. Yeah.
Because one of the things I find kind of really interesting about your stuff is that your work is that you don't shy away from the problems or the issues and so forth, but you also have kind of a very positive, very humanistic approach to it, I suppose, and seeing, both sides of this story. It's not just kind of complaining about things, even though there's plenty to complain about. But it's kind of that balance, I think, that really makes the work last. Don't you think?
Well, it's a good way of putting it. I've never wanted to beat people over the heads unnecessarily with a message, even though that might be intrinsic to the song. But it's about being moved emotionally to the point where you've got to speak, you've got to voice, you've got to say something about this, not be silent. So I do that, and I've been moved and been, moved to frustration and anguish and all the rest of it. And then, well, I hope other people feel that too, and it can provide some momentum and some comfort, perhaps, for people who feel similarly.
Yeah, well, I think also you need to have that sense of hope, though, don't you? Because otherwise it's just too depressing. Absolutely.
It's about resilience. I mean, it's in a way, it's a microcosmic kind of view of the whole country. I mean, there are some shameful things in our past, but we have to acknowledge them and accept them and go on somehow.
Yep.
We have to. We have to lift ourselves. So I try to encompass those things in some of the songs. Yeah.
So where are you based these days?
Kind of drift between Melbourne and a place in country, Western Victoria, in Jabberong country, where I'm sort of born and raised.
Right.
So I've got a bolt hole in Melbourne and a block where I've got a shack out in the country. But, you know, when I'm doing shows, I'm just wherever I am, you know, wherever
you lay your hat.
Can get an audience, I'm at home.
Right. Yeah. I also had this image of you as this kind of perpetual troubadour, kind of, you know, on the dirt highways of Australia.
Well, that's certainly been the case, and even up to last year. But I'm kind of trying to pace myself now and not do so many driving miles. I did 3.5 months of driving and doing shows, one-man shows, basically through the north of Australia last winter, and I ended up with a bit of a wreck at the end of it.
Right.
And because it was a year of confronting the limits of my ageing body, I suppose. So I'm having to be a bit more judicious about where I put my energy.
Fair enough. So
sorry, go on.
No, your last album was The Telling. Is that right?
Yes, it's only just 12 months old. Yeah.
Yeah. And how did you feel? How, you know, with the benefit of hindsight, how do you feel about that album? It's very kind of upbeat and quite, you know, powerful.
Upbeat. Oh. Well, it's basically an album of truth telling.
Yeah,
that's the main theme of it, and I'm very comfortable with it. It's what I had to say at the time, and it's there, and you know, it still feels vital and relevant to me, and I'm not looking beyond it too much at this point. It takes, if I get the songs, if the songs come, and I've only got a few at the moment sort of written since then, if they come, well, then I look at recording something else down the track, but at the moment I'm happy to ride this one.
Fair enough.
Around the place, yeah.
I was wondering also about, obviously, the obvious question is the Wurumpis. I mean, how do you look back on that one? I don't look back too much, but I'm just.
You
must be very proud of it.
Yeah, I'm kind of circumspect about the word pride. You know, I think I don't think it's necessarily a virtue to feel pride.
Right.
But you know, I think we certainly. I'm, you know, if I use the word proud, I'm proud of what we did achieve. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We could have achieved a lot more, I think, if some things had gone a different way, but they didn't.
Yeah.
If the lead singer was still alive, we could be doing something now, but he's not. And also, the guitarist has had five strokes and is physically impaired, so he can't play anymore. And that's how it is. And we had our small window of opportunity.
Yeah.
And we did it, and we did the best we could, and I think we made the country sit up and take notice. And it was a beautiful. It dovetailed neatly with everything I was passionate about, that band, and in a way, it's no other band I wanted to be in but that band. And that band only had a short life, really.
Well, sometimes things are like that.
Yeah, but it exists in its own era, in a pocket of history now for me, and it's almost like looking at another lifetime.
I can imagine.
It happened last century.
Yeah.
And for me, where my writing has gone since then is another place, and that feels more vital to me now than what the Warumpi band does, because that exists in its own time and in a separate place. But I still do the odd Warumpi band song in the show, not necessarily a well-known one, but I'll do a couple, you know.
Right.
But that's how it is. But yeah, those songs will live beyond me, that's for sure. And we'll hang our hat on black fella, white fella. That's a message that's never going to go out of fashion.
No, but I mean, you completely kicked a door in, and we look at you know, the huge number of First Nations artists who followed through that door, really.
Absolutely. No, we'll certainly take credit for releasing the first rock pop single in Indigenous language. So that was a small revolution at the time. Yeah, quiet revolution.
It was a big revolution, actually. But
yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
So when you say your songwriting's evolved, I mean, it's a lot more kind of, it's more sophisticated in, you know, melodically and so forth. Is that sort of what you mean, or?
Yeah, and just the subject matter. I mean, in a way, writing songs for the Warumpi band was easier because you knew the frame of reference. We had this dynamic, charismatic lead singer.
Yep.
So you'd write the words that he could deliver. In some ways, if you've got constrictions on you, you actually write. You can write to it.
Yep.
Whereas doing my own stuff, anything sort of go. The gamut was wider. The palette was wider in a way. But I've found in that process of my solo stuff, I've found my own voice.
Right.
I've managed, and I'm comfortable with that voice now. I think in my first early albums, solo albums, I think I was still struggling to find my voice.
Yep.
And but I'm comfortable with it now.
Right. And do you still like performing live?
Yes, I do. I don't live for it though.
What do you mean?
Well, some performers live for the rush of performing.
Yeah.
But for me, the thing that sustained me is the actual writing, the actual creating something out of nothing.
Yep.
That is satisfying to me.
Right.
And to have people tell you what that song has done for them, in all kinds of ways, is the reward, is the validation.
Right.
Yeah. So it is nice to be able to perform and have an appreciative audience.
Yep.
But as I was sort of alluding to before, I'm looking to play less for more, hopefully, because energy is a precious resource as you get older, and so you've got to keep your powder dry, you know.
Right, and
for the right time. Yeah.
And sort of, you know, going out there, just you and the acoustic guitar is kind of, it's a high pressure environment, really, isn't it?
I'm pretty comfortable with it.
Right.
I tend to kind of know what I can deliver in that form.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that, you know, I love playing with a band. I played 3 gigs with a band last month, but I went into the red on 2 of them. That's just the times we're in, you know. You just can't. It doesn't make any sense to go out and lose money.
No.
It reminds me of the old joke about the musician who won lotto. And they said, "What are you going to do now?" And he said, "Just keep gigging till the money runs out." So at least it's more sustainable for me in the short term to do solo gigs.
Yeah. And
hopefully I can still do band stuff when situation presents itself with a big festival guarantee, or maybe even a funded tour or something. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of...
That's how it is, unfortunately.
It is. But, you know, sometimes those kind of... The intimacy of you know, one person with their instrument is also pretty powerful.
Yes. Well, I find I can do that.
Yeah.
That's what I've learned to do, especially in a nice room, a theatre-type rooms where there's a listening audience.
Yeah.
Although occasionally I had people get up and dance. I was surprised that they'd get up boogie around a bit, just to me. But, you know, generally they sit and listen, and I do like that.
Right, yeah.
I can use the space, use the souls of,
Okay, well, that's good. And you're playing Bulleye tonight, right?
Bulleye at the Heritage Hotel tonight, and the great club in Marrickville, which has been the venue I've played at mostly in the last few years in Sydney. Every year I've gone there and done a show.
Yeah.
So
it's a really good room.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
It'll be fantastic.
Mm.
All right. Well, good luck. And
thanks, Tony. Good luck to you too.
Thank you. I'll see you soon.
Yeah, all right.
Okay.
All the best.
Bye.
See you, bye.
60s I've been in the desert, and every night I dream of the sea. They say home is where you find it. Will this place ever satisfy me? For I come from the salt water people. We always live by the sea. Now I'm out here west of Alice Spring with a wife and a family, and my island home, my island home, my island home is waiting for me. In the evening, the dry wind blows from the hills and across the plain. I close my eyes and I'm standing in a boat on the sea again, and I'm holding that long fellow's spear. And I feel I'm close now to where it must be. My island home is waiting for me. For I come from the salt water people. We always live by the sea. Now I'm out here west of Alice Springs with a wife and a family, and my island home, my island home. My island home is waiting for me. In the evening, the dry wind blows from the hills and across the plain.